Well, three women were bragging about their sons. First one said, "Oh, my son, what a boy. Last year, the birthday I had, that wonderful boy threw me a big party, a fancy restaurant. My friends that were out of town, he flew in, put them up, had them all there for my party." Second one says, "That's nice. Last winter, my son gave me an all-expense-paid cruise to the Greek Isles." Third one sat there for a minute and she says, "Well, that's really nothing." She said, "For 5 years now, my son has been paying a psychiatrist $250 an hour 3 times a week, and all he talks about is me." Some of you had that experience, maybe? I don't know. Your mother was the perfect mother for you. That's how Dorothy Pearson started one of her Mother's Day sermons one time. How many of you remember that? I was so traumatized by it. Your mother was the perfect mother for you. A mother's legacy is love. And some of us have mothers who awaken in us a love that empowers us to be the people that we've come on earth to be, right? Builds a wonderful foundation of confidence and self-esteem so that we can meet the challenges of life successfully. And then other mothers, those who were not there for us in some way or some form, if for whatever reason, they provide us sometimes with the greater gift of love, because they make us seek and search inside ourselves to understand a nurturing love in the world, don't they? They make us search to find it somewhere, to uncover and understand nurturing love in ourselves. Either way, your mother was the perfect mother for you. It was a divine appointment. And seen spiritually, your relationship to your mother serves to bring you more fully into your own authentic self, because love makes us. We're made of love, and love is what makes us. And so however she loved you or didn't love you, it caused you to have love, a love experience in your life. Gary Zukav, in Seed of the Soul, says, "Each soul comes to earth with gifts. Each soul takes upon itself a particular task. It may be the task of raising a family, transforming a consciousness of a community." We need that divine mother now, don't we? To transform the consciousness of our community. It may be awakening the awareness of the power of love at the level of nations. We need her love in the world now. Whatever the task that your soul has agreed to, whatever its contract with the universe, all the experiences of your life, all the people, all the places, and all the events serve to awaken within you the memory of that contract, and to prepare you to fulfill it. All the people, all the places, all the events serve to awaken you with the memory of that contract and to prepare you to fulfill it. And nowhere can we see this wake-up call more clearly than our relationship with our mothers. A mother's purpose is to awaken your soul's contract with the universe so that you get out there and go. Either way, if she was there for you or not there for you, she set you on a primary path, a path of the fulfillment for your soul. Your mother was the perfect mother for you, to become that authentic self that you are. In my own life, I've had both mothers. I'm an adopted child, and so I have the mother that relinquished me at birth, and I have the mother who personified loving me for the 40 years that she was alive during my lifetime. Our mothers imprint on our consciousness. We spend 40 weeks in her womb, her voice, her heartbeat, her scent, her emotions, her consciousness, and then we're born out from that. We somehow think we're separate from that now. But the reality is we are an extension and an expression of that as we make our way in the world and then come into our own consciousness and our own spirit. And I want to talk with you a little bit this morning and give you about the power of this connection with the mother, and give you an illustration in how I met my birth mother. I really only met her one time, actually. One time, and the meeting will illustrate for you the connection in consciousness that we have with our mothers, whether they're actively in our lives or not. My parents never told me that I was adopted, because when they adopted me, they went to a child psychologist that all those years ago said, you don't tell the child they're adopted because they'll rebel. They'll grow up and they'll rebel and they'll hate you or whatever. So they never told me I was adopted, but I knew. I knew from a very, very early age. Now, every child thinks at some point they're adopted, right? But I thought that, and I knew because I didn't look like anybody in the family. My mom was 4'11", red-haired, freckled Nebraska farm girl. And she had 11 children, 11 brothers and sisters, and I didn't look like any of them. The puzzling piece was I had a brother who was 1 year older, and we looked almost like twins growing up. So I thought, how could I look like him and not like them? This just, wasn't in my mind how that could happen. But at age 13 or 14, I started to have a dream. And in this dream, it was kind of like what Peter described in his meditation today. There was this beautiful lake, and all around the lake, it looked like what I would describe an animated Walt Disney movie. Flowers, little bunnies, butterflies, beautiful color, deer, all of nature was around this lake. And then on the lake, there was a rowboat. And I was sitting in the rowboat facing a woman, and I always say I'm the ultimate delegator because Jesus was rowing, right? End of dream. That's it. It was just a drop-in visual of this scene that was so beautiful, and end of dream. And I had that dream several times from age 13, 14, I don't know. Just because I don't dream and I don't remember my dreams, and so this was just interesting that I would have this dream every 2 years or something. So once in counseling with Len Kovar, many of you remember Len and Lorraine Kovar, Len asked me, he said, do you ever have any dreams? And I said, no. And he said, any recurrent? No. Oh, wait, I have this one dream. And I have it every so often. And he says, well, the next time you have the dream, ask the woman in the boat what her name is, and ask her, what's her purpose in your life? Okay. So I don't know. 6 months goes by, a year goes by, and I dream the dream. And in the dream, suggestion of consciousness, in the dream I sat across from her and I said, what's your name? And she said, Mary. And I thought, oh, the mother of Jesus is in the boat with me, Mary, And she had blonde, but she wasn't like the mother. She had blonde hair and a little flip with bangs and kind of chubby cheeks. And I said, well, what's your purpose in my life? And when I asked that question, her eyes, for the first time ever, locked on to mine. And out from her eyes came this wave of golden light, like a river stream that just washed all over me. And as she spoke the words, unconditional love, I felt more love than I've ever felt in ever in my life. It's not since then. And so her name is Mary, and her purpose in my life is unconditional love. End of dream. So fast forward, I don't know, because you don't know when all this is happening. Fast forward maybe 2 years. We're sitting at the Thanksgiving dinner table, my husband and I, with my parents. We've just carved the turkey. Everybody's taken their first delicious bite of turkey and dressing when my husband says out loud to my parents, so what do you know about Cherie's parents? And it wasn't we didn't have a conflictive or confrontational family. It was okay, but at some point, my dad put his fork down and he looked at my mother, and my mother looked at him, and my mom says, well, I have a picture of her in the bedroom. And it gets up from the dinner table, walks into the bedroom, comes back out with this little tiny 2-inch by 3-inch black and white photo taken 6 years before I was born, and hands it to my husband. And I'm sitting there going, I am adopted, it is true. I knew, I'm right, but I'm going to see a picture of my mother for the first time in my life, and I'm 40 years old. I said, excuse me, could I see that? And he's going like, So he hands me the picture, And you know the climax of the story, right? The woman in the picture is exactly the woman in the dream. And my dad, who was really hard of hearing, he was sitting across the table, and I said, "What's her name?" And he goes, "What?" "What's her name?" He says, "Mary." "Why?" You see, we're so connected. We're so intimately connected. It's the only time I ever met her. The only time I ever met her was in my dream. Fast forward a few years later, and I found a piece of paper in my parents' papers that had it was one of my adoption papers, but and it had a record number on it for when they changed my name. So I gave that number to, remember Buzz and Louise Walters? He was an attorney here in the congregation, or at Christ Unity, and so Buzz says, "Well, maybe I can help you." I said, "Well, I just have this little number. I don't even know what it means." So he took it down to the headquarters of Vital Statistics for the state of California, because all the records are sealed. All adoption records in California are sealed. And he took the record number down there, and he goes to the counter of the guy in archives, and he goes, "Can you get me this file?" And the guy looks at it, and he says, "Well, yeah." And he says, "But it'll take a week because it's in archives. It's an old file and it's in archives." And so Buzz went, "Okay." So a week later, the guy called him, he had the file. Buzz called me to come into his office. And I sat somewhere in an attorney's office at 40 or 41 years old then. I sat across from Buzz, and he handed me the social worker intake from when I was adopted. And for the first time in my life, I learned my mother's name, and where she was born, and how old she was, and what her mother's name was, and who my grandmother was, and who my birth father was. And it's just so amazing. We're so intimately connected to this person I never met. She died when I did search. Once I had her name and I searched, she had been dead for almost 10 years, but she died the year I dreamed her that she told me that she loved me unconditionally. That was the year that she died, 1985. So my last interaction with her, when she told me her name and what her purpose was in my life, was the year that she was dying. So all that to say, your core essence is shaped and influenced by love, from sources that you may know and that you may never know. But we are fashioned in love. And the importance is to recognize that our own internal mother is made up not only of the experiences of our biological mother, but of the sacred feminine and the divine mother and the ways that we love. And it doesn't matter if the mothering presence in your life was your biological mother, or your adoptive mother, or your father, or an aunt, or an uncle, or a sibling, or a teacher. I had lunch with a friend one time, and he said to me the greatest mothering presence in his life was his high school football coach, because he said he felt loved and supported and encouraged by that man more than any other nurturing presence in his life. Someone demonstrated caring for you and caring about you. And it's from those experiences that we are touched by love, and that we deeply form our capacity to love, don't we? I often hear people say, "I wish I'd learned about unity early in life. You know, I feel my life maybe would have turned out differently if I'd known these principles." But don't be so sure that the universal mother wasn't active in the one that was the mothering presence to you. Because I want to wrap up this morning. I have a ritual that I want us to do that we started in Nashville a few years ago, and it's just a really powerful calling of the mother's name. But before that, I want to share some of the universal spiritual principles that my adoptive mother, Hazel, gave to me, and I'm sure that some of you had these in your life. So let's look at some of Mom's encouragements, and then I'm going to give you the spiritual interpretation. So you'll be able to maybe catch a glimpse that you were raised in unity, in the universal divine feminine, whether you were aware of it or not. So Mom's wisdom taught me logic. She said, "If everyone jumped off a cliff, would you?" How many of your mothers said that to you? All right, here's the spiritual interpretation. She taught me to follow my authentic self. That taught me to turn within and rely on the guidance and the wisdom of God within me, to listen to that voice within me. Mom taught me genetics when she said, "You are just like your father." And while she may have been referring to my biological dad, what I came to know is that we're all created in the image and likeness of God the Father, right? Beautiful teaching. She taught me to expect the best in the face of difficulty when she said, again, just wait till your father gets home. This was her method of keeping me steadfast in prayer for positive right outcomes. Right? Divine right outcomes, oh, divine right outcomes. She taught me stamina when she said, honey, young lady, you're going to sit there until that spinach is finished. And this gave me strength in life to press forward in the face of great difficulty. When some really distasteful objective was placed in front of me, she taught me to have persistence and perseverance. She taught me the power of the spoken word when she said, if you can't say anything nice, what? Don't say anything at all. You see, it's the universal mother. And as she was attempting to wash my mouth out with soap when I'd said a bad word, she'd say, it's not what goes into your mouth that harms you, but what comes out of your mouth. That's Jesus, his quote, right? She taught me beauty in the days of micro mini skirts. When I would be getting ready to go out somewhere, I'd come out of my bedroom and she'd say, oh, is that what you're going to wear? And she'd quote Colossians 3:14, clothe yourself with love. And she taught me that I should never go anywhere wearing an attitude of unforgiveness, resentment, anger, jealousy, because it's not only ineffective, it's ugly. Right? She taught me the power of crystallized consciousness when she said, stop making that face or it's going to freeze that way. Come on, fess it up, raise your hand. How many of you had that? Right. So I learned to set my face steadfast for God and to set it for the good that I wanted to see in my life. And I learned from that repetition solidifies consciousness. Repetition firms up in consciousness whatever you're looking toward. She taught me unitive consciousness when she said, look both ways before you cross the street. So I learned to look left and I learned to look right. But I also learned to look to my intellect as well as my emotions. I learned to look to my heart as well as to my mind, and that I should use both to navigate safely and successfully in life, right? Again, she worked on me with prayer when she's, you better pray that comes out of the carpet. Again, she just kept me steadfast, in prayers for divine right outcomes. She taught me compassion and comfort with the reassuring words when I was hurt. Don't cry, honey, you'll be all right. We'll put a Band-Aid on it until it heals, right? We're all grown up now, and the myriad of different circumstances life can throw at us, divorce, abuse, or grief, or illness, disappointments, bankruptcy, financial loss, whatever it is, we meet them successfully from the maternal side of God, from the side in us that knows to love, from the side in us that knows compassion. We learn the tender affections, the compassion, and the wisdom of a loving mother. And that same compassion can be extended into the lives of others, because she also taught me to love others. Her I love you helped me understand that supportive, life-giving, I'm there for you love that a mother offers to her child. So I pray this morning that you honor your mother and the love that threaded itself into you. I have a feeling that some of these were universal mother encouragements that you heard also. Whoever loved you, it's because of that love that we can all understand and feel the love of the divine mother. Isaiah said it in chapter 66, verse 13, as one whom his mother comforts, so I comfort you. So, I want to do this, I would like us to participate now in this spiritual ritual that I did one year at Unity of Nashville, and it was so overwhelming and so great that we made it a practice to do it on every Mother's Day. And what it is, it's calling the Divine Mother, calling the name of the mother. And we do that by calling the name of your mother, my mother, our mothers. And so it's very simple. Peter, you're going to get an extra microphone. And he's going to work that side of the room. I'll do this side of the room. And I want to invite you to stand if that's comfortable for you. And we're going to say, I am Cherie, daughter of Hazel. And then the next person will say their name. You know, I am Doug, son of whatever. If you have children and you'd like to speak, you know, we can do this a different way, right? You take your lavalier mic, and I'll take I'll use this one. And if you'd like to speak the name of your children, I am Cherie, daughter of Hazel. I am Cherie, mother of, and then name your children. That's okay. We might run a little bit over, but it's really important that Sharon's going to play some soft music behind, and we're going to call the name of the mother. So we're just speaking that, not any other sentences, and then we'll come back in and seal it in prayer. And so Peter and I will start. Let's see. Hold on. I'll pull this out a little farther. Okay, there it is. All right. So let's just take a moment and invite the living presence of God as Divine Mother, the Sacred Feminine, to be here with us. And wherever there is a need for greater love in your life, let that nurturing, supporting, wise, embracing love be with you right now. I am Cherie, daughter of Hazel.
I am Peter, daughter of Merlita. Son, hey. Merlita May.
I am Doug, son of Florence.
I am Ben, the son of Catherine.
I am Chris, daughter of Sylvia and mother of Julian and Sarah.
Every other one. No, every other one. Everybody's going to share. You can pass.
I am John, son of Helen.
I am David, son of Betty.
I am Imogene, the daughter of Mary.
I am Rachel, daughter of Mary. I am Rachel, mother of Andrea, Kathleen, and Carrie.
I am Kevin, son of Imogene.
I'm Ronnie, daughter of Beulah, mother of Wade and Janet.
I am Esther, daughter of Mary and mother of Timothy and Stephen.
We love you, Ken.
I am Jan, daughter of Margaret, mother of Andrew and Tenley.
I am Joyce, daughter of Florence. I am Joyce, the mother of Suzanne and Janet.
I am Pierre, son of Lois. I am no mother.
I am James, son of Claire.
I am Lynn, daughter of Suzanne.
I am Sally, daughter of Dorothy, mother of Molly and Amy, and grandmother of Logan and Luke.
I am Donald, son of Hazel and Glenn, and father of Ryan and Aaron.
I am Janet, daughter of Charlotte.
I am Janet, daughter of Josephine. I am Janet, mother of Cynthia and Brian, and the grandmother of Casey and James.
I am Molly, daughter of Sally.
I am Penny, daughter of Margaret. I am Penny, mother of Brad and Kevin.
I am Amy, daughter of Sally and mother of Logan and Luke.
I am David, son of Louise.
I am Carolyn, mother of Michael, David, and Emily, and grandmother of Andrew, Matthew, Liam, and Cameron.
I am Jan, daughter of Janet Buick.
I'm Linda, daughter of Mary, and I'm Linda, mother of Anna.
I am Gail, daughter of Ernestine. I am Gail, mother of Teresa and Angela. I am Gail, grandmother of Tyler, Alex, and Chris.
I am Santa, the mother of Yashar, and I am Santa. My mother is Phyllis.
I am Randy, son of Myrtle.
I'm Janet, daughter of Dorothy.
I am Rhoda, daughter of Caroline, mother of Kathleen and Melinda.
I am Joyce, the mother of Liberina, and I am Joyce, the mother of David and Kim, Heather and Brooke, and I am Joyce, the grandmother of 17 grandchildren.
We bless them all.
I'm Marty. I'm the grandson of Lillian and Stella and the son of Jean.
I am Nancy, daughter of Margaret Dolores. I am Nancy, mother of Brian and grandmother of Caitlin and Samantha.
I am Suzanne. I am the daughter of Olive Marie, and I am the mother of Morgan Marie.
I am Claudia, the daughter of Eunice. I am Claudia, the mother of Courtney and Colin.
And I'm Tom, son of Alberta.
I am Sharon, the daughter of Clara.
Okay, so let's breathe together for a moment and just feel that. We love to, many of us love to say the name of our mother or the name of our children or the grandmother. So let's just let that be in the room for a moment. God of love, your presence in us, moving through us, loving us, is all powerful in our lives to comfort, to accomplish, to equip us in every way to meet and create an exceptional life. For all this love, we honor and celebrate our mothers, our grandmothers, the mothering presence in our lives, and we give thanks in the name and the nature of the living Christ. And so it is. Together we all say, Amen.